All right, let's take you now back to what is currently transpiring in Gauteng Schools. The cause of death for one of the learners who drowned while at a camp in Centurion in April is not yet known, as post-mortem results have not yet been signed off at the time of the release of the report that investigated the incident. Gauteng Education MEC Mabona says his department cannot be blamed for the incident since the principal of the school did not follow proper procedure. We're now joined by Gauteng Education Spokesperson Steve Mabona to speak about this and other matters that are related to the department. Steve, thank you so much for your time. There's a lot on the plate of the Gauteng Education MEC in recent weeks. Let's start with the deaths of the two young learners at the Hennops River. In the main, talk to us about what the findings of the report are, especially as it contains the principal as well as the SGB.
Someone call it. Okay, the report today focused on the outcome and the recommendations, but it turned out that the principal just decided to go on this trip without necessary approval, and they decided that actually a recommendation that the principal must be charged. So as the department will be focusing on that. And also, they are recommending that we need to make sure that the SGB is empowered because the SGB was non-functional, as it were. So we need to focus on that. The counseling for learners, they indicate that it was not adequate. So we need to go back there and make sure that the counseling is appropriate, and we will be doing that. And we need to support the school and make sure that all the business plans that are put on our table, we need to scrutinize them and make sure that we understand on what we are signing at the district level. Because if the business plan is approved, then the school will probably do like as this one and continue with the trip that is not approved.
I mean, it is concerning because we are talking here about two learners who have died, 15-year-old and a 17-year-old. And to think that 90 children were sent to this camp with only one adult, and that, as you said, the SGB was not functional. Now, Gauteng Education MEC Mabona saying that the department cannot be blamed for the incident since the principal of the school is the one that didn't follow procedure. What is going to happen in as far as the disciplinary process against the school principal is concerned? And understandably, there must be some level of blame also leveled at the Gauteng Department of Education. It has to be that the department also needed to have its checks and balances.
Yes, I mean, remember the previous cases, they would have, been a lesson to us as the department. And there were a lot of recommendations from the previous incidences. And they said before any trip is undertaken, we need to tick all the boxes and make sure that everything is in place. So the school, I mean, as this year already, we sent them the memorandum and a reminder on how they need to respect the regulations around the tours that they will be taking or any excursion. So the principal did not do that. That's why the MEC said if she did that, we're not going to be talking, things like we were talking about. Because when you check on that area where the children drowned, it's a makeshift dam. It's not even a swimming pool. So we would have ticked those boxes that are there any lifeguards there and how children are going to be managed there. And for the fact that you send children without educators, it's a problem because, I mean, taking cognizance, that school is a school for learners with special educational needs. Now you know that there's extra effort that you need to take in terms of taking care of them. So it's a challenge that we saw that faced.
And just given the number of schools that we have in Gauteng, I mean, do you have capacity to follow up with these schools? Because I think the only reason we know about this particular incident and the previous incidents that you speak of is because there has been a fatality of this kind. I mean, for one, every 20 or so child has to be accompanied by one teacher. And in this case, there were over 90 children and only one adult.
Yes, I mean, which is out of order. That's why we'll implement the recommendation from the investigative firm. But, you know, because we remind schools and we enhance the SGBs, we expect schools to, you know, be fully functional. The SGBs must be fully functional, and they look at the policies when they want to take children to any excursion. So even if there's no fatality, we do get those that would have erred, and we take necessary action against those that would have, you know, committed, you know, such errors of going to a trip without any approval.
Steve, I want to touch on the incident and what is currently happening at the Pretoria High School for Girls. This is not the first time that this school has been accused of racist allegations. Now we know that 12 learners have been suspended for this WhatsApp group that has been circulating, and that 8 of them were in fact in the leadership team, and that, you know, they were actually school prefects. The principal has been suspended for 3 months. Just talk to us about what the MEC of Education initially has now indicated, that there will be this social cohesion program at the school. What is actually at the bottom of these allegations at the Pretoria Girls High?
Well, we can confirm that it's racial undertones which cannot be tolerated. Because the challenge, you know, this was reported to the principal, but nothing was done, allegedly. So hence the suspension of the principal, so that we, you know, continue with the probe, and will probably, you know, go to an extent of going to a disciplinary process. But that will be informed by the investigation that continues now. We were here in 2016, and a few years back again, we came back here. So we feel that the diversity program will assist us because we are talking now probably new learners, we are talking new parents, we are talking some of the teachers that were implicated in 2016, they left the system. So we feel that we need to revisit, work with them, but then, like as the MEC has already indicated, that we're going to be working more with educators, you know, parents, including children, just to make them understand on where we come from as a country and where we are now. We don't need to discriminate against each other. We are in a developmental institution, which is a school, not only, you know, for our careers, but also our development as a people. So it's important that we need to behave, you know, in a proper way. So what we're going to be doing is just to unleash that program and make sure that it succeeds.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I'm going to hang on to that word of success. What would success look like? Because you've just indicated to us that these are new students that we were talking about, or learners that we are talking about, outside of what we saw in 2016 when black students were told that they cannot wear their hair in a natural state. We understand, of course, that several policy was then introduced. But now with the new learners also, you know, playing that role of having these racist allegations, you know, meted towards them, it does then talk about a systemic issue within the school, which probably talks about a number of schools that are also undetected that we're not talking about today. So in terms of the social cohesion program to work, what then would you say would be the success, you know, factor here? Because these students are also going to be leaving school, and then new students will be coming into the fray. And, you know, we don't want to be sitting in this program or this situation a couple of years from now.
No, what we have agreed upon is to, on a continuous basis, because we see there's a problem, systemic problem, as it were, we're going to continue with the program and come back and check on how we're doing. But it's going to be important for learners and their parents, if there are challenges, they need to report to us. Because you can't say we are tired of reporting to the school, but even now we're not going to escalate this to the district or head office. Because how are we going to know that there are challenges at the school? So the program will also assist us to make parents to understand that They need to report. They need to work with us. Let's make sure that we change the system if this thing is systematic. But if we are saying we are tired, we don't want to, complain anymore, then how are we going to resolve it? So we will going to appeal to the parent body to work with us. Let's talk. Let's make sure that we nip it and make sure that there's no, element of racial undertone that will be coming from the school.